Okay, hello everybody. Kelsey here, founder of Como. I'm joined tonight by one of our absolutely outstanding clients, Luma. She came to us a few months ago, and her journey is something that I know will resonate with a lot of you, if not all of you. Luma, so first and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight. Really appreciate it.
You're most welcome, Kelsey.
Awesome. Thank you. So Luma, I'm going to turn it right back over to you pretty much from the get-go. If you can just share with us a bit about your situation with your child and kind of what was happening a couple months ago, initially, like leading up to when we first met.
Okay. So my son, he's 15 years old, and he was like most of the kids now, their top priority is gaming and enjoying themselves, and school is in the very bottom of their priority list. So what I was looking for is someone who would help me to change his mindset, his way of thinking, to help him to see the picture from a different angle, the reality life, to help him really, mature, because soon he will be a young adult and he will start his own journey on his own. And I wanted him to get ready for that, not to surprise when he's there. Mm-hmm. So no matter what I tried, the talking and everything, it just did not work. And the broken points was with the COVID when it started and the online learning, and that's it. He lost all the interest and he just did so bad in that semester, and I felt like I'm losing my son, and his future is going to unknown area. So I wasn't looking for a tutor. I didn't want him to learn 1 + 1 = 2. Mm-hmm. I want him to learn how to think about any problem and to learn how to solve any problem, starting from 1 + 1 till the rest of his life. So that was what I'm looking for. And I was so fortunate to finally found you. I saw your advertisement at the Facebook, and listening to your videos, reading your clients' reviews, I said to myself, this is it. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the person. I finally found the person who will change his mindset, who will change his way of thinking, and let him understand what life is and how he should arrange his life, his goals, and what is the right approach, how to think, and everything. So, and I'm just so happy, I'm so happy. And I believe so much that the money that I paid are the best investment ever I did in my life, because he's changed. He's changed, absolutely. His mindset is changed. And this is what I was looking for.
Wow. Luma, first of all, thank you. That's music to our ears. That's pretty much what we get out of bed every morning to do is what you've just described. That's absolutely amazing. And I want to pause at, first of all, when you mentioned you found us, you were looking for things to address, especially after COVID, that whole just kind of complete disengagement and apathy. I have to ask, because you mentioned, you found us on Facebook, which made me chuckle inside a little bit, because Facebook isn't always necessarily, the most reputable. Were you at all skeptical at first, or were you like, you don't know, this seems legit, or was there any like kind of questioning in your head?
Well, actually, it's, I start searching on Google, and this internet system, when you start searching on a certain search key or something like that, it goes absolutely to all the applications or websites that you are So I was searching first in Google all the time, for coaching, for uh, this kind of search. But and usually I don't go to Facebook that much. It was absolute luck that day. I was just going there, and your ad just popped up there. And usually, because I'm desperate to find what I need, so what all the ads that comes in my way, I just open and read and read and read, because I was looking for something, and I wanted to find it. It just, I'm this kind of a person, like when I need something, I just keep looking and searching, looking and searching. So your ad was very attractive, and straightforward, and like it gives me hope, like it was like this light pops up. So I just went there, and I start reading. Then I visited your website, and I read more and more and more, and I sent the email. It's I just felt that this is the right place. This is what I was looking for.
And I love that so much. First of all, the magic of the internet that
Yeah.
Facebook connected us. That's absolutely fantastic. And second of all, Luma, because you mentioned first of all, researching. Obviously, you're just a phenomenal mother. You're doing all the research, whatever you can do to help your child. What was it? Like, what had you guys tried anything in particular before this, as far as trying to help with him, or was this something, one of the first things that came? Like, was it essentially, because you mentioned the research piece, and that's something that we hear a lot from a lot of parents, and so I just kind of want to highlight that, because if you're a parent listening to this and you feel like you've researched and you've looked at everything and you've tried different things, that that's not necessarily the case, and there is help out there that maybe you haven't stumbled upon. Luma, would you say that was your situation?
Well, we had an experience before starting with you with a tutoring center. And at first, I didn't know that it was just pure tutoring center. I thought they will, do this work. And he worked with them for like 5, 6 months. And I, I, I I noticed some change in the beginning, but after like the second month, he started, to his interest, like to go back. And it wasn't good anymore. And because I have the background of coaching, so basically I know what I was looking for. It's the coaching part. It's the change of thoughts itself. It's like, instead of giving me a fish, teach me how to fish.
Yeah.
So I come from this background, and this is what I was looking for. And when I read your website, uh, that's why I was happy, and immediately, because it's coming from the coaching background. It's we speak the same language. So
Yeah.
that's why, that's why my search, to start with, that was what I was looking for, from the coaching point of view, not from tutoring point of view. I don't want someone to teach him how to solve a problem, just, like, here's the problem, here's the results. No, it's about how to think about this problem, how to break it down, because this problem is just a small sample of tomorrow's problems, of the future problems. So I wanted him to learn how to think, how to break down things, and to reach to the result. You see?
Yeah, Luma, I'm gonna have to take that as a soundbite, because what you just described is literally, that is the epitome of the teaching versus learning. Like, you can
Exactly.
teach somebody to do anything, but showing somebody how to learn,
Yes.
worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
I
And
love
that
that.
was the sentence that you have it in your website, showing how to learn, that made the whole difference with me. Like, yes, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want. I don't want him just to be like a record, or a printer, just copy and print, copy and print. No, I wanted him to use this, I don't know, trillion million cells in his brain, let them move, let them work as they should be.
Yes, totally.
This is what I was looking for. And this magical line you have in your website to learn, to learn how to learn, it made it for me. And I didn't hesitate for a moment to call you and contact you.
Okay, and that actually brings us to the next, I think, pretty big piece in the journey, because Luma, something that really stuck out to me about your story was, your son was, first of all, I can't say enough wonderful things about him. That's not the point of this conversation, but was he immediately on board? Like, was this something that he was ready to go? No convincing? Was he skeptical? Because it's one thing for you to be like, okay, based on my background, I know that this is something that could help. But for him, like, how did that go for him as far as, hey, what is this all about? What is this going to do for you?
Well, for Aboud, Aboud was somehow looking for the same thing that I'm looking for. In the very back of his mind, he feels that he's not get into his potential, that he can do more, but he just doesn't know how to do more. Unfortunately, his teachers in the elementary school and in the first year of high school, they were just delivering curriculum more than like teaching, and I felt him that he was lost. He wants to do so many things. He just doesn't know how. He doesn't have the enough motivation. He doesn't see what's next, how, what are his goals, what to focus on. He was so lost that he wants to do something, he just doesn't know how or where to start from, like in the middle of a tornado. I know he is so smart. He's not because he's my son. He is, as a person, he is smart and he is clever, and he has this critical thinking. He just doesn't know how the tools that he has and how to use them. So he needed to discover himself, but he just didn't know how or where to start from. So, and I wanted to help him to do that. That was the goal. So when I start explaining to him what do you do, it's not about 1+1. It's about to learn how to think, how to discover your tools, your personality, what kind of a person you are, what are your potential. He felt that, yeah, okay, let's try this. And he wanted to do that, to reach to that goal. And he told me that, okay, even now if I start and it wasn't what I'm looking for, can I, stop or do something else? I said, just give it a try and listen. And Aboud also is the kind of person that he doesn't give judgments immediately. He gives the chance, to see what's going on and then to decide. So that's it.
Well,
We
you know
were
what, Luma? Yeah, you're bringing me back to that initial conversation we had, because he he was so candid and
yeah,
forthcoming with respect to the fact that, well, of course, and at the time, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, he was gaming quite late. I know that was something he had shared, where his hours were very late,
yeah,
and it was for him, well, what else am I, like, I'm not doing anything else. And that conversation of, okay, what do you wish you could be doing versus what you're doing now? And he was very transparent of like, well, yeah, I see that gap, and yeah, I'd want to fix it, but I don't know how. And he was very candid about that, which is something too that is so important. He had that self-awareness of like, okay, I do want something different or better, but like, what? How do you even begin to get there?
yeah. And I remember there was this afternoon he came to me. He just collapsed and started crying because he feels there's something wrong is happening, and he feels that he's losing his future, and he doesn't know what to do about it. And he even uh, uh, there was this time when he cannot sleep at night, just thinking about what's going on in his life, and how he can fix that, what he can do about it. But still, he's only 15 years old.
Mm.
And unfortunately, the temptations around our children in this age, they are, oh my God, so much, with the gaming, with the, everything is there, the internet, it's just too much. So, like, I guess in some point he felt like he himself, his worst enemy, like he is the one who's putting himself down, and he wants to stop that, and change it.
Mhm.
And uh, and of course, I was searching in that time more and more and more, and until we found you.
That's sorry, go ahead, Luma. I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off.
yeah. So it was, I was afraid. I was worried to lose him, and he is worried to lose his future. And in some point, like it was, that's it. But I always know and believe that it's not. That's it. There is a solution out there. I just need to keep looking for it. And I kept talking to him, telling him that don't give up on yourself. We will do the right thing. We will find a way out. And that's what happened with you.
So let's unpack that a little bit because, and again, I know Luma, this is why I was so happy and grateful that you're sharing your story, because I know what you've just shared is what so many parents are living right now, and they're in that stage of what can we do? So for you and for Abud, what was it, do you think, and this could be in terms of, the chronology, the first few weeks, the actual experience of it, or just in terms of the top things that made the biggest difference for him that actually led to that shift and that actually led to a change that was meaningful for him and for you?
Well, the first thing that Abud was missing in school was someone to listen to him.
Mm.
This is number one. Number two, someone to encourage him to express himself, to express his feelings, what he's going through, what he's looking for, what are his goals, what he wants to do. Just purely listen to him. What are the challenges around him? What's scaring him? Just listen to him. Unfortunately, the teachers, um, they were totally absent in that field. All that what they wanted is already make students, successful students,
Mm.
or just someone who will receive whatever they are delivering. But there wasn't this connection on a personal level. Um, with this kind of a person, he needs some personal level connection, personal connection. He cannot just do what he's told without understanding why he has to do it, and nobody explained why you have to do it. So that's all bothering him. So he reached to the point where he hated the schools, the teachers, the system there, everything. He just doesn't want to do any of that. So with you, you start asking questions and listening to his answers. And while you are asking the question, the type of questions that make him think and search for the answer. While he's answering, he's making another calculation in his mind. You gave him the confidence and to talk, to tell what's going on. When he failed in something, you did not just shout or expected always, the top. You gave him chances and explained what he needs to do, gave him options. And unfortunately, all of that did not happen in school. It was always judging and judging, and that's it. So he basically relaxed with you, and he was able, you brought the best out of him, because you gave him the options, you listened to him, you made him relax, understand that this is not the end of the world. You can answer, sometimes we answer wrong or right, we fail, we succeed. There are options there. So this is that all together helped him just, to relax and to start think and to bring what's best there. So I think that's what made the difference with him in the very beginning. Then you start, teaching him the tools to discover the tools to understand them, how to use them, how to organize his time, his tasks. It started to make sense to him, and he started to see the results at school. So that all encouraged him and made more motivations, and it made the whole thing. He saw the whole picture of school in from not even a different angle, from the top. Like he's all up there and seeing everything going on. He's in total control. There's no one is forcing him to do anything. It's all his choices, his make. And he was happy with that. So he just brought it all out, because he has a great potentials. That's it.
Absolutely. I love that. I'm smiling so big right now because it's such a radical shift from feeling so weighed down by the things you have to do. And then that shift to actually, wait a second, like you just said, that sense of control, that sense of confidence.
Yeah,
And to be super clear, he put in the work, right? Like
yeah.
he really knew that he wanted something better and different for himself, and he engaged in conversations and in work and in thinking that contributed to that, and it paid off. Um,
Yes. He actually talks now. Before he just didn't talk. He preferred not to talk. His social skills are not so great.
like
And
about school Luma, or about in general about
no,
things
no,
not.
in general, he doesn't talk that much. He has this school affected him so badly to the point that reached he believed that nobody is interested in whatever he is saying. So he just kept it to himself and he doesn't talk that much. But now things are different. He's talking more and he's expressing himself, and he comes to me and he said, I was thinking about this, and for
Oh.
Abud to use the verb thinking, that's a big deal. And he share his thoughts, he share his plans. He has plans now, like I will do 1 2 3, and this is what will happen, and when I do this I will move to that. And he has plans and he talks about it and he think about it, and that's a big shift and a big deal for Abud. You can't imagine what school did to Abud, especially that we moved here to Canada. He was 10 years old, and it was a change from everywhere, like everything. And unfortunately at school, though I explained to them that we changed, that we moved, it's all new for him, it's different, it's so many things, but uh, I don't know, it wasn't. And in this age they are growing, they are moving, their hormones, so many things are going there, so it's like fire. You use fire for light and warmth, but if you did not really take good care of it, it will burn everything.
that's, a, that's a scary and very real metaphor.
Well,
Yeah.
in their age, it is. In this age, it is like that. If you did not, contain them, if you did not approach them in the way that they can handle it, they will just, like they start, breaking down everything, starting with themselves, with their future, with their everything. They have so many great potentials, but still they are not using them. So that scared me. That what I didn't want him to get to or to reach to. So
Yeah. Well, and Luma, to your credit, because we've talked a lot about Abood, but to your credit, you took that action, you were researching, you reached out, you got resourceful, you did what you had to do. And I know for where he is at versus where he could have ended up. Because, you know, a lot of the parents I talk to, and I know that I don't even talk to a sliver of the parents who are out there experiencing these things, who see that burnout happen one way or another, where that future unfolds in a way where, you know, so many kids do not get the tools. So many kids do not feel validated or heard or develop the
Yeah.
confidence to actually, you know, start to step into their best selves, because it's ongoing, right? High
Yeah.
school, university, it's all just opportunities for them to develop themselves as thinkers and learners and all that good stuff. So I think, Luma, I guess I just want to recognize, hats off to you, because you did a lot of that work and you set such an incredible example for him with respect to getting resourceful and knowing that there is a better way, that things can change so long as you're willing to put in some effort to make it happen.
And you know, Kelsey, I want to add one more thing. We ask our kids all the time to know everything, you know, to learn, to know math and science and English and what's going on and life, but we forget to teach them how to know themselves first of all.
Mm.
And now with the fast rhythm of this word and all the, you know, it's just all about, you know, the appearance and who has what and how much. eh, the human himself or herself, you know, they are lost. So we need to teach them to know themselves first, their potentials, what they are capable of, how they can use their brain, their hands, their skill, you know, to teach them the skills to use what they have, you know. They are, they have so many, we are humans, we have so many things. We
Mm.
created the whole civilizations. It's not robots who created the civilizations. We did, humans. So unfortunately, what's happening now is we care about everything surrounding us and we forget ourselves. We forget the child, you know, the human being in our children. They don't know themselves what they are capable of. Use the Google, use the calculator, use this, use that. But what about them? You know, the tools they have built in that God created, put it inside us.
Mm-hmm.
So with you, you help them to discover themselves, what they have inside, use it, develop it, and so they can use what's outside. And this is what I was looking for. I wanted him to know himself, you know, to discover himself and develop all the beautiful, amazing skills that we have built in, you know, the brain cells, the hands and legs and everything, eyes. We have a lot, you know. But we just forget that. We forget that. We focus on learning math and science and physics and all of that, and we forget us. We forget we, you know, the human inside us.
Yeah.
So yeah. So my from my experience with you, and I advise all the parents, uh, really honestly, to work with you, because you help their kids to find this human, to find the potentials, to find the tools, the skills that are already built in. They just need to be come to the light to then develop them, and you can go from there. And you know, when I start with you and you said it's 10 weeks, and I said, oh my God, only in 10 weeks? What will that do? But from the first 2 weeks, I started to see the results. Aboud now, he he stays till 10:30 till 11 if he has to, you know, to finish his assignments and work. He's committed. He knows when to take a break, to sit on, to play some games, when to go back to his duties, you know, school's duties. His first report was A's. um, I see the difference. I see the change. I was worried in some point, you know, like when he finished the 10 weeks, if he's going to go back to his old habits, but so far he's doing really great. Um, I don't know. You were just like a second family for him. You. You surrounded him from everywhere. You fulfilled many needs. Um, it was just amazing experience. I don't know. I wish I could stay with you all the time. It's this feel of how to say it. Not only safe and security. It's the feel of family. You know, like you really care for him. You really care for his future. You and your team, you are just amazing. You are very understanding. You listen. You are very patient and passionate also about what you are doing. You contained him, you know, surrounded him with all this love and care, and like we want you to be better, you know, this honest, genuine care that we want you to be a better person. And it's not just about, you know, like it's not business like service and money. No, it wasn't like that. It was totally beautiful, you know, like a second family for him. And I totally encourage everyone to start working with you.
Luma, thank you for sharing that. That means so much because that is really what we want for all of our kids and all of our families. That's what you deserve. That's what a boo deserves.
and
So
and and you were a great support for me, you know, as a parent. This weekly meeting, it was so amazing. And not only asking about my son, you were asking about me also as a parent. What did I do and achievement, and you were actually listening to whatever we were saying. That's a big deal, you know. And I felt, you know, relaxed, you know, as a parent. I felt relaxed and happy, and that my son is in a safe hands, you know, and they are really doing a great job directing him to what's best. So it's both ends, you know, him and me. It was just amazing working with you. And
thank you.
as I said, I wish it could last more.
Well, I was gonna say, Lou, but you're not getting away from us that easy. Like you know that you're still in the fam, quite literally. So we're there for you 100%. But I want to highlight that because it's something that, we discovered. It was a bit surprising to us because so much of the traditional supports or tutoring or whatever it is so much about the student. And we've been working with parents for a while because we know it's like for you to feel confident and good about how your child is learning and feeling confident and good, they go hand in hand. So I'd love if you could just speak briefly. And I know, Luma, I promised you a shorter time than this. So if you're good for just like another couple minutes, but it's so important. Like for you, what was for you the best part of that or the most helpful part as far as because I think a lot of parents think, okay, I'm going to hire a tutor, I'm going to hire this, and they're out of the equation. But that's really not how it works best. If you could just speak to your own involvement and participation in it.
Would you repeat? I didn't really follow your question.
Oh, of course, I'm sorry. Just as far as I know, a lot of parents are thinking, I'm going to hire somebody to work with
Yeah,
my child and that
yeah,
will take care of it. And we found that involving directly and explicitly and having parent participation in their child's learning, right? No matter how indirect, but quite explicit, is so important. Like
yeah.
for you, and you were just sharing that the parent call. I'm just wondering for you being involved and seeing his learning, how that was different or how that was especially helpful. Because it's
It,
very easily you could have said, I'm not coming to this, I'm not going to do that. It's just about him.
um, well, as I mentioned before, you know, it's unfortunately now the parents are also so busy working and providing for their kids and the families. So unfortunately, the parents, we forget ourselves. You know, we are so busy with providing for them. So I found that this 1 hour of meeting, it's like bringing this or making the connection even better or stronger, that I know what's my son is going on, what he, with whom he's staying for 2 or 3 hours, like 3 times a week, what he's doing. And also, like, when I'm commenting on something he's doing or saying, I know that it's related, that I want say something or do something that you said the opposite of it, or you did not, you do not recommend, you do not recommend from your point of view as as a coach or an educator. So that made me in the loop. And whenever also I had something going on, you always gave me the freedom to contact you anytime I want and share my thoughts and ask for your advice. So it uh, it made me feel like more relaxed and secure, that both of us are working towards his best, and we are working on the same direction, not um, um, like helping each other in a way or another, because sometimes you may say something and I may say something totally different, and he will get confused, and I didn't want to have that. So you were always there directing us, telling us, if encouraged us to contact you whenever we have questions, and that also helped a lot, because me from here at home and you online, I felt that we are on the same page, working together. And also, of course, the connection even better, because we start talk more and discuss things more.
Totally. Yes, I love that the connection, and it's, even though it's virtual, because I know a lot of people just switched to online with COVID, but I have to say I'm a big fan of it, and being able to connect each week and hear what's going on with you and have that email and whatever it is, because that cohesion is everything. For that same message to be reinforced in the household is so important. And Luma, that actually brings me to, I think, one of my final questions, but looking at, like, reflecting on, your last few months, and of course before then, just the whole journey overall from where you were to where you are now, is there any one or two things in particular that you wish you would have known, or that, you think important for parents to know?
Well, I wish I started with you last year. Yeah, I wish, I found you earlier. But it just, I think that our kids is our fortune, and we have to focus on them more than anything else, because everything we can do or redo, but not our kids or their future. So they are always the top priority, not in only eating and drinking and, having everything they want, but working on them, their personality, their potentials, them as a human being. Uh, this is the most important thing, because anything else we can always do or redo or buy or whatever, but not them. And this is a very critical age. It's the time, when we, like, somehow their future is decided, what kind of a person he will be in 5-6 years from now. So if we invest now as much as we can in time and effort and money, it's all worth it, because it will make a big difference for later on, and we will see the results. And I want to say also that you and your team, you are very professional people. You know what you are doing. I always felt that no matter what I'm going to ask you, what advice, what questions I have, that you will answer me. And even if not immediately, you will search and you will find the right answer and give it to me. You will do everything in your power to help me find what's best, or do what's best for my kid, to direct me, to advise me. And that itself made a big difference for me. I always felt that you care, you and your team. Time wasn't an issue for you. I don't know how did you manage all that, but you were doing a great job, and your team as well, especially Hiba when she was working with Aboud. She's amazing. As I said, you know what you are doing. You are very educated, very intellectual. I don't know what else to say, but you are, I really felt so happy. It was one of the amazing experiences I went through, and I'm happy that my son went through. And I wish all parents will do the same, because it's worth it. It's safe, it's fruitful. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate all what you've done, and all the effort that you are doing and putting there.
Thank you, Luma. Thank you so much for that. It has been such a privilege. As you know, we've talked about this, such a privilege and an honor to get to know Aboud and yourself, and to see what has happened, over the course of a few months. And as you know, we are still here. We are still here for you. That is ongoing, but it's absolutely incredible. And Luma, I can't thank you enough for sharing your story and for sharing your experience. I think it's really important for parents to know that outside of tutoring, outside of, a lot of the traditional things associated with school, that it is possible. And Luma, and I say this, I want to emphasize this, that no matter what situation your child is in, if you're listening to this, there is hope. Every child can learn how to learn. Every child can connect with themselves as a learner. Luma, I'm hearing your little one.
Yeah. she found me.
She found you.
She found me.
Well, I promise I've taken up enough of your time, I promise. But I do, Luma, I want to thank you so much. And I just, I have to tip my hat. My team and I were so thrilled to see the progress that you all made. And you and him both showed up. You put in the work, you learned, and you were so open with that. And that made everything we did so much more impactful. And it's just been incredible. So I'm so happy you decided again to share. Thank you so much. Again, I think pretty much every parent listening to this will resonate with your story. So thank you, Luma. And was there any last word of advice for any of our parents listening?
I just want to say again, don't give a fish for your son. Just teach him how to fish.
I love it.
And this is what's really happening with you. You teach them how to you learn how you teach them how to learn, and this is the most important thing. If they start in their school now, they can do everything later on, when they apply this system and this way of thinking, they will be successful in every aspect of their lives.
Absolutely. Everybody listening, you heard her, Luma, just coming out on the other side. So thank you, Luma, again. And everybody listening, if you are struggling, if you are stressing, if you have challenges, if you want for your child any of the things that Luma just outlined, her journey started with booking a call. I invite you to do the same. It's comoconsulting.com/get started. Book a call. We will talk. I'll see if we can help you. I'll see what the deal is. We'll get an action plan in place one way or another, and we'll go from there. Once again, it's comoconsulting.com/get started. And that's where Luma's journey started, and that's where your journey could start also. And Luma, once again, thank you so much. And everybody else, we will see you on our next call.
Thank you, Kelsey.